I am reading the most fascinating book. It's called Colombo, The Unsolved Murder. It's the true story of Joseph Colombo. He was known as the boss of one of the most notorious crime families ever in New York history. And it was written by his son, Anthony Colombo, and Don Capria also wrote half of the book. And now we are very happy to welcome these two authors here today, the son of Colombo and Don Capria, who wrote what was going on at that time. You tell us what your father was like at home as a person in the community. You tell us what was going on in organized crime and what he was doing on that scene, right?
Yes.
What do you want us to know by this book?
Well, mainly about the book. For many years, for 45 years since my father was shot, there's been stories and innuendos and outright lies that Joe Gallo and Carlo Gambino were responsible for my father's shooting and my father's death. We have completely debunked that, those theories that were set forth in the very cursory investigation that that was done at the time my father was shot.
And
we know.
I'm sorry. This is a video of the trailer that actually happened. So this was a huge
when your
deal
father
at
was
that
killed?
time.
Yes.
Oh my! Yes, it was one of the it was probably the biggest headline in the country, and you also tell us what your dad was like as a father. He was a great guy, right?
He was a wonderful father, a good husband. He was a strong disciplinarian. He brought us up respect.
He had 3 boys
honor.
in the big city. He had to, right?
Four
boys
and 1 daughter, and he was a very loving, caring father, and we did everything together. And with the Italian American Civil Rights League, when we started that, I was with him every day, and I got to know him more as a man other than a father, because we actually worked together and we actually did things together every day, working for the Civil Rights League.
But as you
decide you wanted to participate in this, because you know when you hear about mob and all this, it seems like it should be a scary topic to talk about. But you guys dove in it. You teamed up together and just kind of went.
Well, you're the journalist.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying in this what actually happened, aren't you?
Yeah, I did the investigative side of the story while Anthony told the father-son side of the story. And I had always been interested in Joe Colombo because it was something that there wasn't a lot of information out there on him, and a lot of the story seemed loosely fitted. And when I started researching it more and more, I started to find out a lot more truth to what was going on at the time and what was going on with the murder investigation, which was, you know, it was left unsolved for 40 years, and the shooter of Joe Colombo, also his murder unsolved for 40 years. So it's just an interesting piece to open back up, kind of like a cold case file.
Yeah, well, didn't everybody see who shot him? Didn't a black man shoot him in the back of the head in public with everybody watching?
Absolutely, and he was shot thereafter. There must have been 40 police officers surrounded him. Somebody shot him right after, and
killer.
Nobody knows who it is.
Oh.
And the gun that actually shot him, somebody wiped the prints off. So there's a lot of things in here, yes.
Now tell me what this is. What's the picture we're looking at?
I can't see it. What is
Rockefeller.
Oh, Rockefeller.
So Rockefeller's
I was interviewed by a young lady at the time, I forget her name, but from the New York Post, and one of the dignitaries, one of the political people that was a member of the Italian American Civil Rights League, an honorary member, was Governor Rockefeller at the time, and he was the governor.
And your father was head of that league?
And then my father was head of the league.
Now, is
and
that your dad?
There's a picture of me. No, this is a picture of me and Governor Rockefeller, and he denied it. And the news reporter told me, you know, if you lie to the news, they'll never believe you again, Anthony. I said, well, why would you call me a liar? I can prove what I say. And she says, you're going to prove that Governor Rockefeller's lying? I says, absolutely.
Oh.
And I showed that picture, which you can't deny a picture, and she ran it the next day in the New York Post. And that's the picture that was run in the Post. It's in the book.
You really, really get to know these people. I like it because it's psychological and true. I've got so many questions. You've got to get the book. And they're going to be here in town. What's the place?
At Lake Colombo tomorrow at 4 p.m. for a signing.
Go get this book. It will keep you up at night. And when we come back, we're going to show you some lemur love.